Alex Jones here reporting for Infowars.com. Unfortunately, our analysis of the globalist takeover of the United States has proven stunningly accurate. An open coup d'etat has been carried out by the private central banks over Europe. Even Time magazine calls it a banker coup d'etat. And the very same financial interests that print and issue currency out of nothing have bought off most of our Congress and the executive and many state governors and legislatures. But a lot of people are starting to wake up. And Obama, last year with the Libya war, told Congress, I don't need your authorization for a war, and put out a public letter when Congress threatened to impeach him, saying, I get my authority from the UN. That was treason. That was an impeachable offense. And now, in the House and Senate, legislation has been introduced in the House by Walter Jones of North Carolina to begin the impeachment process if Obama launches any more wars without congressional approval. Article 1, Section 8, Clause 12. It's the law. But Obama has gone beyond treason, and his handlers have. When the Secretary of Defense and the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs 2 days ago went before the Senate and told him, we don't need to consult you on a new war in Syria that the U.S. military is about to get involved in. We have authority from the UN and NATO. This isn't just a president declaring dictatorial powers. That's bad enough. This is a president operating as an operative of a foreign power that controls these corporate interests. And that's exactly what's happened in the euro now. The bureaucrats controlled by the big banks set up new rules and then transfer the sovereignty into that and tell the European nations you can't get out of the euro and you'll pay whatever taxes we say. When the debt isn't even those nations, it's the big banks that set it up and hold everybody hostage with too big to fail. But the good news is there's major talk of impeachment. This is outrageous. But of course there's got to be talk of impeachment. There should be immediate impeachment. This is a coup d'etat against our republic. Now, all over the United States, they're having military and TSA checkpoints now. The John Warner Defense Authorization Act of 2007 admitted that they're preparing the military for war against the states that they try to secede. But there's state nullification going on all over the country. And the feds say the states aren't allowed to nullify federal stuff. In fact, there shouldn't even be a state. The feds run everything. But now the globalists have gone one further. They're telling the Congress that they don't count when they're over the purse and the military and commission the officers and direct the president in war. They tell the commander-in-chief what to do. They give him a bill of war, a declaration of war, or a directive, and then he executes it with his war cabinet within those narrow parameters. Okay? So now the feds have told the states that they don't have any authority. That's fraudulent. Now the globalists and the UN through the president are telling the Congress that they're vestigial and ceremonial. And it's finally waking up the Congress and a lot of other people. So call the House Judiciary Committee. I gave the number out on the radio today. Call Talk Radio. Write letters to the editor. This is the big issue, not what Kim Kardashian's doing, calling for a new globalist invasion of Africa to get some new boogeyman, when it's really about 700 million barrels of oil, where these different groups are in Uganda. This is the real issue actually affecting our country. And I want to warn the globalists, and I want to warn all their minions and the rest of them, and traitors, collaborators that are working with these foreign banks to capture the United States. We saw all-time doubling of gun sales when Obama was president-elect in 2008, 2009. Those numbers were again doubled in 2011. And they're now reporting a 60+% increase on top of that doubling of a doubling. They're selling out of guns everywhere. Smith & Wesson is backlogged 6 weeks in manufacturing. I was talking to a gunsmith and gun shop owner just the other day, and he was saying, you can't get anything. The people are snatching the ammo, the guns, and they've done studies. I'm going to show you some of these articles. And they've said, we're buying all of these guns because we don't trust the government and we think it's traitorous. And remember, Obama said he was going to get the better clingers, that cling to their guns. People know tyranny's here. They know the federal government's illegitimate. It's telling the Congress go to hell, which is the real government. This is incredible. And I don't want a civil war in this country. But the establishment should understand, people are buying guns because they know the government's out of control and criminal. Congress has a 9% approval rating. You got a bunch of dependent people and folks that buy into the whole liberal conservative paradigm who still don't know what's going on. But the the sheeple, the people that are on the bench, never count in history. It was 3% started the Revolutionary War against the crown in this country, in the colonies. 5% that won the war. We've got more than 30% of people that are totally and completely awake. And no amount of high-tech propaganda or false flags is going to be able to sell this. We have the moral authority. If we didn't have this traitorous, globalist, banker-funded media like MSNBC and the rest of it, and CNN, we could get our country back. And when we do take America back, and when all these globalists get arrested for their sedition and their treason and their anti-American activities and tried by a jury of their peers, this country is going to flower and bloom again. We've been captured by mega banks that use us as an engine of empire worldwide and that try to divide and conquer the American people. And the fact that they've passed the NDAA, and Obama says he can secretly arrest and kill citizens, and the fact that the FBI director is saying, yeah, we can kill citizens and make them disappear in America, is really waking people up. The communist Chinese yesterday passed a law modeled on the NDAA. It was in Reuters saying, well, America secretly arrests, we're going to do it now. I mean, this is outrageous. These globalists are full of hubris, think they can get away with all this. They're not going to get away with it. So understand, the fight for liberty is happening right now, and all of you out there need to understand that this is going on. Look at this. The police are arresting people that even protest on the side of the road now. There's all sorts of different types of corruption and tyranny taking place. And here you've got the Smith and Wesson, trying to make that focus. Smith and Wesson report surging gun purchases on back of fears over Obama re-election. And then we've got the other articles in there where Obama's declaring himself basically a dictator and all the rest of it. And there's the actual article. Smith and Wesson reports surging gun purchases on the back of the fears. And it goes through all the numbers. If you just search engine record gun sales, there are hundreds, literally hundreds of articles breaking this down. Gun sales rise ahead of 2012 election. There is those reports. It's all right there. Troops used for crowd control at Texas Kite Festival. This is here in Austin, Texas, where they had troops out doing that. We're being totally acclimated for occupation. Here's police now. This is an AP photograph. Here are police. You know, somebody went postal and shot some people, and so they show up running around, you know, like they're fighting Al-Qaeda, so that they're indistinguishable from the military. This is all part of the blurring, and for all these years, I warned you. For all these years, I broke down exactly what was happening. I told you they were going to get rid of posse comitatus and put troops on the street. I told you they were preparing for civil unrest and to arrest political dissidents who actually support liberty and freedom. I told you all this was coming because I was reading the documents. I was doing the research. Now it's out in the open. Now they're trying to sell it. And do you know why they're trying to sell it? Because they're getting ready to use it. In every case in history, when they start openly announcing torture, secret arrest, all of this, it's because they're getting ready to use it. They want to tell their militarized police that it's okay, we passed a law. They've had laws saying black people weren't human. Doesn't make them legal or lawful. Marbury versus Madison breaks that down. Look at that ruling. And many others. I'll see you on the radio this Sunday, 4 to 6 p.m. and back next week, of course, 11 to 2 Central. But this is the big issue. All of you better become info warriors now and realize I was right, Ron Paul was right, countless others were right. But we don't need you to tell us we were right. We need you to get fully activated and take action against this corruption, because they're getting rid of the basic freedoms so they can loot us and rob us and take all the pension funds and bring this country into a depression. That's always been the plan of Agenda 21 and the globalists. We have real criminals in control of both major parties, and they're moving quickly. We're in deep trouble, okay? All right, God bless you. I'll see you again this Sunday, 4 to 6. And this is such big news. I'm going to continue to file more reports right here at Infowars.com. God bless you.